Hello and welcome to another video here at AV Forums. We're here in one of our testing rooms, and this time we're taking a look at the brand new Marantz SR7010 flagship AV receiver. The 7010 retails for £1,399 and it includes everything you'd expect to find on a high-end AV receiver, including both Dolby Atmos and DTS:X decoding. Okay, well let's open the box and see what's inside. Right, well, as we'd expect with the Marantz receiver, everything is sensibly laid out and easy to find when you first open the box, and we really like that. They've really thought about how to present the contents inside the box to the consumer. And first of all, we've got over here a power cable. Then we have the remote control here. It's very attractively designed, there's a silver trim around the outside, a brushed metal effect, comfortable to hold, has all the controls you possibly want. There's a little readout display up here as well, navigation controls centrally here, you've got volume here, basically a nicely designed, comfortable to hold, easy to use remote control. We really like this, keep it simple, don't overcomplicate things. And best of all, it's also got a backlight, which is very useful when you're using this in a dark room. Often these are in home cinemas where it's very dark, so that's a very useful feature. And of course over here we also have some batteries to go with the remote control. We also have a manual, or a quick start guide in fact. Obviously you can, there's a side here. There's a CD-ROM with the full manual, although you can also get the manual online of course. And then a quick start guide. Some information about DTS:X. Obviously at the moment DTS:X isn't available. It will be available via a firmware update at some point in the near future. I'm just informing you of that. And also how to use Spotify Connect. Over here we have the microphone for the Odyssey Room EQ, automated Room EQ system. I'll just open this up. There we go. So there's the microphone, which you use in conjunction with Odyssey to set up your receiver and to EQ for the room itself. Now, as you can see at the bottom here, there is a little screw attachment for using a tripod. Because basically you want to make sure this isn't sort of on a pillow or something like that. You want it to be on a tripod or on something else in order to keep it separate from the sofa or from wherever you're using the microphone. Because you want to take measurements at the sweet spot and also measurements around the sweet spot to get an average for the room acoustics. And there's that, but if you don't have a tripod to go into there, Marantz very helpfully provides you with one. It's basically a simple a simple cardboard tripod that you put together, and then you can pop this on the top of it and use that for making the measurements when you're using the Odyssey Room EQ system. We really like the way that Marantz have thought about just about everything in terms of features. We also like the way that that thought's also extended to the way it's packaged, because as you can see, these polystyrene blocks simply come out like so, making it easy for you to access the receiver and just pull it out. Obviously it's quite heavy, you want to make sure you can get to it easily and not hurt your back. So we'll get this out now, take a closer look at the front panel and the connections at the rear. Okay, and here we have the front panel, and it's pretty much a classic Marantz layout. We've got the input dial here, volume dial over here. In the middle, an attractive little circular display which gives you some basic information, and the on-off button here. Everything else is behind this drop-down flap here, making the front very minimalist, very clean. We really like it. We think it's an attractive design, and it looks lovely in a home cinema, in your equipment rack, and yeah, it's classic Marantz. So what's behind the actual drop-down flap though? A larger display with more information on it, some basic controls, and then some inputs at the front. So we've got a headphone socket here. We've got a USB port, an additional HDMI input. Very importantly, These are HDMI 2.0A, HDCP 2.2 inputs, all of them I believe, so that's excellent news in terms of future-proofing for this receiver. We've also got composite video and analog inputs here, and then here we have the connection for the Odyssey setup microphone. Since this is a flagship receiver, it doesn't come as a surprise to discover there are an awful lot of connections on the rear, but the most important ones for most people are going to be the HDMI inputs, and these are along the top here. As you can see, there are 7 HDMI inputs here, plus there's one at the front, and then there are 3 HDMI outputs here. This one supports ARC. We've got an Ethernet port here for a wired connection, although there are aerials for the built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Over here we have digital audio inputs, coaxial and optical. Power connector here. Nice little feature on the Marantz receivers. They line up all the speaker terminals like this, so you can get to them easily when you're looking down from above. That's quite a clever idea. So you've got all the speaker terminals for front, left and right, center, the surround channels, surround back, and then obviously the height channels or overhead channels for Dolby Atmos or DTS:X. Then we have composite inputs, component video inputs here, all the analog inputs and outputs, and then here we've got pre-out. So if you're using it as a processor, you can pre-out any of the channels, so front, center, 2 subwoofers, and we've also got surround, surround back, front wide, and then the height or overhead channels as well. And then over here we have the connections for the FM aerial and the AM aerial. We've got a signal ground here. We've got 12 volt triggers here, and then an RS232 connector for serial connection, and an infrared extender here. And that's about it. A pretty comprehensive set of features at the back of this receiver, as you'd expect from a flagship model. Again, I think Marantz have really thought through trying to make their receivers as easy to use and as easy to set up as possible, and I like that. It shows some thought gone into this, which is great. And that finishes our first look at the Marantz SR7010 9-channel AV receiver. Don't forget you can read the review at avforums.com/reviews. You can also see more videos at avforums.com/videos. And why not follow us on Twitter? And like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching.